Arsenal's start to the campaign has been interesting. From an outsider looking in, I've never really understood the hostility, panic, worry, concern, and at times ridiculous levels of anger towards the performances and results that Arsenal have had so far in the 23-24 campaign. Before we go any further, make sure like buttons are hit, by the way. Please subscribe to The Football Terrace. I've seen Bukayo Saka absolutely ripped into for being awful, poor, nowhere near the standard that he should be this season. Again, I really understood it. And yesterday we saw Arsenal dismantle Bournemouth with consummate ease. It was 4-0. It could have been 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We saw them midweek have a depleted squad through some minor knocks and injuries, and 2 or 3 players being rested. They're away from home against a relatively fully strength Brentford team who barely lose at their stadium and beat them. We saw their return to the Champions League, smash PSV 4-0. We've seen them control a lot of games this season, not scoring exponential amounts of goals, exponentially more goals than last year, I should say, but control games and look at times almost not going to concede, impenetrable in many ways. Of course, there's been some poor results. Fulham at home, when they were leading twice in the North London derby, they'd be frustrated with the results. But no team is impervious to poor results. No team ever has been. Man City right now are considered the best team in the world. They've lost 2 games in a week. That they dominated the majority of the ball of and had the most amount of chances. Lost 2 in a row. Pressure's now mounting. We've seen great Klopp, great Fergie, great Wenger, great Jose teams lose games and have bad performances. But we seem to have created this world now on social media that dictates unless things are perfect, I'm going to be angry and moan. And looking at the Premier League table, Arsenal do sit third. This time last year, they were top. This time last year, they were on 18 points, not 17. So again, there is an element of credibility to say we're worse than we were last year. And Arsenal fans that say that, yeah, you could argue you're right. But I believe you're denying a lot of underlying metrics or measures. I believe you are being disingenuous to the fact. So far this season has been a stronger start to the Premier League campaign by a number of teams. And you only have to look at the season last year. And look here at the overall points. Look at the points that Chelsea and Fulham were on this time last year compared to that of the teams in 6th and 7th this year. It's been a stronger start by City, by Liverpool, by Tottenham, by Villa, by Brighton and West Ham than it was, respectively, from Tottenham, Brighton, Man United, Fulham and Chelsea last year. So it's been a harder league so far this campaign. Equally, when you look at Arsenal, conceded less goals than they did last year. One of the highest goal scorers in the league still. Creating an abundance of chances. Highly creative. And again, very rarely troubled in the majority of their games. And even against Tottenham, they did well against them. It wasn't a barrage of shots where the goalie was being peppered. There was moments. And by the way, Tottenham have been great this year. And they still, you could argue, are not firing on all cylinders, Arsenal, and they're still in this position. They haven't even got back to the overall level of performances in terms of scoring goals, as we saw them produce for the vast majority of last season. That they did for a lot of the previous campaign. That's going to come. I think all serious thinking football fans know that that is going to come. So imagine not being at your brilliant best and still having a start to the campaign, which is across all competitions is better than last year. Unbeaten. Starting the Champions League campaign perfectly. Through to the next round of the Carabao Cup as well with a very tough away win against Brentford. Why the anger? When you look at the Saka situation, and I put this up for a reason. This time last year, he had 1 goal and he had 4 assists after 9 games across all comps. This season, 5 goals, 4 assists. His outputs this year have been better. The underlying metrics, and this is Premier League only I'm giving you here, shooting accuracy, 20% better this season. That's probably why he only had 1 goal this time last year and has 4 this season. Shots per 90 minutes, up. Shots on target per 90 minutes, almost double. Goals per 90 minutes, doubled. Assists per 90 minutes, slightly better, similar but slightly better. XG per 90, doubled. XA, so expected assist per 90, more than doubled. Big chances missed. Actually, he's missed less big chances this year than last season, so he's become more clinical. Accuracy of passing has gone from 28. Accurate passes per 90 minutes has gone from 28 accurate passes per minute to 40 this campaign. Successful dribbles per 90 minutes has gone from 1.7 per game to 2.1. And accurate long balls per 90 minutes has gone from 0.9 to 1.34. Every metric that you would consider to be important for an attacking player has improved this season for Saka. His outputs have improved. Arsenal's overall starts of the season across all campaigns, and by the way, this is the gotcha moment for all the Arteta haters. They talk about, well, we should be winning trophies and challenging on all fronts. Yes, your Premier League start is 1 point worse off than it was this time last year, but your overall start to the campaign across all competitions that you want to win has been better. It's a cast-iron fact. You weren't even in the Champions League this time last year. So winning your first game in it is better than being in the Europa League, and you got knocked out of the Carabao Cup at this point. The start of the season has been better. Facts. Saka being ripped into by supposed Arsenal fans when every element of his season has been better than last year. But do you want to know why it doesn't look as good overall? There's a few players that just haven't been finishing their dinner that will come. And teams are sitting back and being more defensive against Arsenal, more compact, harder to break down because they're fearful of them. So it's changing your perception of these games. Arsenal haven't changed overly what they are doing. It's basic football knowledge. Arsenal are scarier, better, and more serious than they were last year. Will they win the league? That remains to be seen. Man City lost yesterday. They're still the favourites to win the Premier League, though. Liverpool look imperious. Yes, they lost yesterday, lost 2 men, but they look like a serious outfit. Tottenham, if they maintain what they're doing, could become a threat. Who knows? They keep playing this cavalier, swashbuckling, pressureless, exciting football. Who knows where they'll end up? But the fact that Arsenal, who have had an impressive start to the season, have been written off and flicked to the side, only boils down for me to one reason, and it's that media bias again. There's only 2 teams that I see suffer with this in the Premier. It's Arsenal and it's Man United. And the reason that I defend Arsenal is because I want credibility when it comes to defending Man United. I see, genuinely, I don't see any kind of... Yesterday, we've seen Spurs win 2 games in the dying minutes of matches recently, celebrate like crazy. In fact, yesterday's celebrations, Basuma brought his child onto the pitch and did a lap of honor. Now, I have no issue with this. Let me reiterate again, 0 issue with the players taking their shirts off. I mean, Pedro Porro did the Messi celebration holding his shirt when he didn't even score. After the game, the players are partying with the fans and getting the fans cheering and running over to them. They're doing laps of honor with children. I have no qualms, no problem with any, not one element of this. But whenever Arsenal did it last campaign, they were called too emotional. They said the over-celebrating was a sign they didn't believe in themselves. And the fans should calm down. The hypocrisy stinks. When Arsenal had big decisions go against them last season in the Premier League, okay, the lines weren't drawn, or that maybe it shouldn't have been a red card, but why didn't you kill the game off? Why didn't you score goals? Media's not saying that right now about Liverpool. It's all about Liverpool were cheated. And that's got to be the main focus. By the way, I think it's right. But the hypocrisy. I've seen TalkSport and ESPN presenters say Spurs were in the title race. The same people last season stated, and I quote, that you can't be in a title race until the last 8, 9, maybe 10 games of the season when it came to Arsenal. And this is why I implore Arsenal fans to be strong. The same way as I implore my own fans, Man United fans, to be strong at times. There are things to criticize your club on. But the mainstream media always go over the top. They always go one step too far. They'll always ignore things that protect your football club, and they'll attack things that damage it. And you have to remain strong. Simple and as straightforward as that. I'm seeing people online kick off. It's a disgrace that Arsenal's captain Odegaard let Kai Havertz take the penalty. How weak is that? Just to get him a goal so he doesn't get any more banter. Why are the fans voting him as man of the match? Because they're doing their job. They're being supportive of a player they want to become good. And I understand criticism. I understand going on at people. It doesn't help everybody. Everyone's different. Maybe you as an individual don't mind your boss shouting in your face. Maybe it motivates you. Other people makes them shrink. And I think we live in a world now where we understand that you can't treat everybody the same. We all want equality. We all want fairness. But it's not as simple and as basic as that in real life. And I've been saying this to Arsenal fans for a while now. Criticize poor performance. Demand more. But you should be enjoying this ride you're on. And I genuinely mean this, because you never know how long these journeys are going to last. You never know how long your team is going to be a formidable, powerful force on the field of play. And I understand that some don't want to overly celebrate it until you've lifted some of the major trophies. And I get that. But enjoy the goddamn ride. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the journey. Savor every goal, every celebration, every moment. Yes, look for areas where you can improve. But people are often talking about their football clubs now like it's a sales campaign. You know, in a mobile phone shop, and you've got to hit certain widgets. There's elements of that are true. But this isn't a day job. This isn't an office job. This isn't sales metrics or banking or accountancy that's boring. It should be fun. Enjoy it. Arsenal, scarier, better, more serious than they were last year. Of course, the events in the Tottenham-Liverpool game yesterday really overshadowed what Arsenal have done in the last couple of weeks. Wanted to talk about it, give you my views and opinions. Leave yours below. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again soon. Peace.